gentlemen, today we're going to be looking at the Headway Plus book, Unit 9, I think, or Unit 11. Anyway, it's page 89, 90, 91, and it's all about vocabulary and speaking. My name is Mr. Paul Anthony Rafferty, my name is, and I'm your demonstration teacher today. So we're going to look at vocabulary and speaking, verbs and nouns that go together. Around each verb, one noun does not go with it. Which one? So we're going to look at the word discover. Discover? Yes. What do you think? Okay, discover the truth. Yes, that's right. Discover the truth. And? Yes?
Discover a cure.
Discover a cure. And can we say discover gold? Yes, we can say discover gold. And discover DNA. What do you think? Yes, that's right. We can say discover DNA. But we cannot say discover aspirin, because aspirin was kind of engineered. It was made. They put a process into place. And it's not something that was discovered. It's something that was actually manufactured, I suppose we could say.
The teacher?
Sorry?
So would you say that you can only discover things that already exist?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. And now we're going to look at make. Yes, make a phone call. That's very good. What about this one? Oh, make £1,000. Yes, make what? Make cars. Yes, cars are made in factories, car factories. Make a discovery. Yes, we often make different discoveries.
Make a phone call, teacher.
Yes, as we just said, make a phone call. And thank you for that. What about homework? Do we make homework? No, we don't, do we? We do homework. Okay, so let's move up to the next one. Let's have a look. Tell a story. Yes, that's right, tell a story. Tell a joke. Yes, I'm going to tell a joke now. What's this? Brum, brum. Engineer. That's Paul telling a joke. Tell a story. Yeah, thank you for that. Tell a story. Once upon a time. Yes, so we can tell a story. Tell the truth. Yes, if we are honest people, honest, true to ourselves, we tell the truth. And then if we're not, if we're the opposite, then we would tell a lie. But we can't really tell hello, we say hello. There's a difference between tell and say. We tell a story, but we say hello. Let's go to the next one. And here we have give advice. Give advice. This is when your friend will tell you the best thing to do. Give you some advice. Give a present, which could also be called a gift. Give a present, give a gift. Give information. I need to give you some information about the course. And you can give somebody a lift. In American English, this is give somebody a ride. But we would say give a lift to somebody in their car to take them possibly to the airport. But we can't give a complaint. Yes, that's right, we make a complaint. Very good, we make a complaint. Let's go up here now. And we can lose weight. Weight is when, you've got a bit of, like me, as you get older, you do put on the pounds. So, to lose weight, okay, lose weight. And let's just go down a minute. Lose the game. My team the other day lost. I won't go into detail, but they didn't win, they lost. So that's the verb to lose the game. And you can lose your way, especially in a new city. If you're in a big city like London or Riyadh, and you're not sure where you're going, and you're like, oh, you lose your way. And you can also lose money. I've done that. I'm sure we've all done that at some stage. We've lost some money. Oh, I lost my money. But we cannot lose the bus. It's very big. How do you lose a bus? You don't lose buses. You can lose your money, you can lose the game, but a bus is a bus. You will never lose the bus. You might miss the bus. Ah yes, you can miss the bus. Let's let's go up there. So the next one is carry. So, Mr. Liu, some of these are correct, but one is incorrect. So, Mr. Liu, can we say carry an umbrella?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Can we say carry passengers?
Yes.
Yes, we can. And can we say carry a briefcase?
Yes.
Yes, we can. And can we say carry a gun?
Yes.
Yes, we can. So, do we carry a watch?
I'd probably say we wear a watch.
We wear a watch. Very good. Oh, mine's falling off. Look. Yes. So the next one, Mr. Liu. Can we keep a diary?
Yes.
Well, what is a diary? What's a diary?
Diary is our daily record of what we did and what we thought about what we did in a given day.
Okay, a daily record of what we did in the past. Can we keep the peace?
Yes.
Yes, we can keep the peace. What does peace mean? The peace, what does that mean?
Keep the peace would mean that our community would be free of violence.
Oh, that's a very good explanation. What about keep a promise?
Yes.
We can keep a promise, and what does that mean to keep a promise?
If we say that we'll do something, we actually will follow through and do it.
Okay. And can we keep a secret?
Yes, we can.
And what does keep a secret? What does it mean? What is a secret?
That would be when someone gives us information that they don't want us to give to anyone else.
That's very good. And can we keep an idea?
No, I'd say we have an idea.
Yeah, we have an idea. What is an idea?
Idea would be something new, something that would be new and innovative.
Very good. Miss the family. Can we say that?
Yes, we can.
We can miss the family. What does that expression mean, miss the family?
It would usually mean that you hadn't seen your family in a period of time and that you wanted to see them as soon as possible.
Oh, very good. And what about miss the ball?
That's possible, yes.
Okay, you can miss the ball. If you're playing football and you're the goalie or the goalkeeper and the ball goes in. Miss the bus, can we say that?
Yes, we could.
And what does that mean, miss the bus?
That would mean that we did not get to the bus stop on time and the bus left without us being lead on it.
Very good, we didn't get the bus on time. What about miss school? Can we say miss school?
Yes, we could.
We could. What does that mean, to miss school?
It could either mean that we like being at school and we aren't currently there, so we'd like to go back, or it could mean that we were not at school on a given day, so we missed that day of school.
Yeah, that's more likely. We were not at school on a given day, so we missed school on that day. Can we say miss the way?
No.
No, what would we say?
Find the way.
Find the way or lose your way?
Lose the way, not miss the way.
Okay. I just want to go back and have a look at some of the vocabulary which we've got here. And so if we go back to the beginning. So, what does it mean to discover a cure? Can anybody tell me? Discover a cure.
Yes, teacher. It means that there was an illness and somebody had a close look at it, and one day they found what they should do to make that illness go away and to cure that illness.
Thank you very much. That's a nice explanation. Discover the truth. What does that mean? Anybody tell me?
Find out the actual facts about something.
Find out the actual facts about something. Yes. Discover gold. What does that mean?
To be able to find gold in land, like maybe in a mine.
Yeah. And what they have this round thing, don't they? It's like a mesh, and they put it in the stream, in the rivers, and the water goes through it and it exposes the gold. What's that called?
I know what you're talking about. Could it be like panning?
Yes, panning for gold. That's right. Discover DNA. What? Anybody? Yes?
That's part of the body structure, but it is very small. And one day somebody used probably a microscope and they saw this thing called DNA for the first time.
Okay. Let's go over here. Well, first of all, what's an aspirin? What is an aspirin? It's a drug, isn't it?
A drug that thins your blood, I believe, right?
Yes, it thins your blood, it stops you having headaches. And do we say discover aspirin?
Well, the very first person to develop it, I could imagine you would say yes.
No, but it wasn't discovered aspirin, it was developed.
Okay.
So we would say take an aspirin, yeah? Take an aspirin. Let's go here. Make a discovery. What does that mean, make a discovery?
Find out information.
To find out the information that you're looking for, yeah. And what does it mean, make cars? Make cars. Where do they make cars?
In big factories.
Big factories, big buildings. Who makes cars? Do people make cars or do robots make cars?
A combination of people and robots.
Yes, robots make the bulk of the car and the people, they finish the final product, don't they? And make a phone call. How would we describe that? Make a phone call.
Picking up a telephone, dialing the proper number.
Yes, picking up and keying the number. On the other phones with a dial, let's dial the number. On a cell phone or a mobile phone, you can key in the number. Make £1,000. How would you, if you wanted to make £1,000 very quickly, how would you do that? How would you do it?
I would offer English lessons in London.
Oh, that's excellent. Offer English lessons in London because there are a lot of foreign students in London who actually take courses there. As we said before, we don't say make homework, we do homework. Let's go here. Advice, give advice. Who would normally give advice, do you think? In what situation someone might give advice?
A psychologist to give advice to a patient.
Yes, a psychologist would give advice to a patient. That's very interesting, yes. A father might give advice to a son, say, look my son, do this, it's the right thing to do. And then, where are we? Who would give information, in what situation? Someone wanted to give you information.
A teacher could give information about English to students.
Yes, a teacher could give information about English to students, that's good. Who would give a lift? In America, I know to give a ride to somebody, give a lift to somebody, if they're what? If they're hitchhiking. So hitchhiking is like this is hitchhiking, and then the truck might come along. In America, they might give you a ride. In Britain, they might give you a lift. Obviously, we don't say give a complaint. What do we say?
Make a complaint.
Make a complaint. In what situation would somebody make a complaint?
Maybe a person in a restaurant who was given food that was burned, or
Yeah?
bread that was stale, food that was rotten.
I think you have to be careful in a restaurant when you make a complaint, because you never know what they're going to do to the food. Let's move on. Carry an umbrella. So we know what an umbrella is. If it's raining, you put your umbrella up, and then when it stops raining, put the umbrella down and carry your umbrella. What does it mean, carry passengers? What does that mean, carry passengers?
Could maybe mean a train or a bus or an airplane with a lot of people on it. That train, bus, or airplane would be carrying those passengers.
Yeah, on a bus or a train or a plane, carry passengers, yeah, that's the numbers of people, they are the passengers on the plane, bus, etc. And what else? Carry a gun. Who might carry a gun?
Police officer.
A police officer, yeah, a soldier. And who might carry a briefcase?
A business person.
A business person, even a teacher. May I just borrow your briefcase for a moment?
Yes, of course.
So here I have Mr. Gregory's briefcase. He's actually working very hard at the moment on his papers. This is a briefcase, and papers and documents, these are called briefs, hence brief case. A paper case, a case for papers, is called a briefcase. Because lawyers, especially, their documents are called briefs. In England, especially in London, if you visit your lawyer, we might say, you visit your brief. I'm going to speak to my brief about my case. This is a briefcase. So, do we say carry a watch?
No.
No. So we say wear a watch. I'm wearing my watch. It's a new one. I got it last week. It's very nice. And Swiss made. Now let's have a look. Keep. Ah yes. Back to keep the peace. We did this. Let's go to miss. Oh yeah, miss the family. I think we did most of this. So let's move along now. Let's go to part 2. Oh, this is about reading and writing. I'm not going to do that yet because we have spoken about it. I want to get more on the speaking side of things. Talking about you. I'm going to ask some of my students some questions. Mr. Lou, do you always wear a watch?
No, I only use my phone for telling time. I never wear a watch.
Thank you. Mr. Gregory, are you good at telling jokes?
Sometimes more than at other times.
Okay, I told a joke earlier. I don't think you were here. Here's my joke. What's this? Brum, brum. Engineer. Anyway, that one's dying on its feet, isn't it? Let's go to the next one. Mr. Lou, what was the last present you gave and to whom?
I gave a nice scarf to my mother.
That's very nice. Mr. Gregory, what was the last phone call you made, who to and why?
I phoned my daughter, and I phoned her because I haven't seen her for over a year, and I wanted to just speak to her again.
That's very nice. Okay. And Mr. Lou, do you keep a diary?
Yes, I put my diary almost every day.
Wow. What kind of things do you put everything that's happened in, or do you kind of not put everything in?
I write down the main events of the day and how I'm feeling about things.
Okay. Why do you keep a diary?
Someday I want to look back and see how I was feeling about a given thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I have a event in my life that's stressful, writing about it does relieve some stress.
You know, I never keep a diary. I like to forget what's happened in the day. Just move forward. I don't want to even think about it. Gregory, have you or a friend ever made a complaint in a restaurant?
Yes, I have.
Oh, please tell me more.
On occasion, I've placed my order and they've either brought the wrong food, or they bring the starter and the main course at the same time, or the food is cold sometimes. And I send it back into to please warm it up and to cook it properly.
Yeah. I'm very wary of making complaints in restaurants because you never know, do you?
No.
Yeah. Mr. Lou, have you ever been homesick? And if so, did you miss your family or your friends?
Well, I haven't seen my family back in Los Angeles for about a month now. And so, yes, I do miss them.
For a month, yeah. Now, Mr. Gregory, what is the best advice you've ever been given?
To invest my money in Bitcoins.
I've heard that this is a really big deal these days. Yeah, I'm very interested in Bitcoins actually, but now the price has gone up so much I can't afford to buy them. I think I may have missed the boat on that one.
10,000 for one.
Yeah, we're going to listen and compare the answers now.
Tape script 11.4. 1.
Do you always wear a watch?
Yes, all the time. Don't you? 2.
Are you good at telling jokes?
No, I'm hopeless. I can never remember the ending.
3. the last present you gave? Who to?
I think it was when I gave some flowers to my mum.
4.
What was the last phone call you made? Who to? Why? Just before I came into class. I called a friend to ask if she was doing anything this evening.
5. Do you keep a diary?
Yes, but I don't write very personal things in it in case someone finds it.
6.
Have you or a friend ever made a complaint in a restaurant?
No, but my dad often complains. I find it embarrassing, but he says it's important to do it.
7.
Have you ever been homesick? Did you miss your family or your friends?
Oh, yes. When I went on an exchange to Germany when I was 16, I missed everybody.
8. What is the best advice you've ever been given?
If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
So there we are. They had some advice to give us there, didn't they? Let's go here. Now we're going to look at the discovery of DNA. Did you know that a tiny piece of your hair gives us information about who you are related to, which career you could be successful in, any crimes you have committed, what illnesses you could get, and how and when you could die? I'm not sure if that applies to me. There's a joke in there somewhere. Now, let's have a look at what we've got here. If I can move that up. There we are. Now this is possible thanks to the information in DNA or... Well, then here's the actual word for DNA. Now, I'm not sure if I can actually pronounce this, but I'll give it a go. So it just proves that even English speakers do sometimes have problems with wrong words. Now, here we are. Deoxyribonucleic acid. That's all I'm saying. Your hair and every cell in your body contains your own unique DNA. It can tell you a lot about your family, health, and personality. Mr. Liu, could you read this paragraph here for me, please?
Yes. DNA was discovered by a German scientist, Friedrich Mescher, in 1869, but nobody realized its importance then. Other scientists thought that it was too simple to contain a map of how we're made. In 1953, a group of British scientists at Cambridge University finally discovered the structure of DNA and how it worked. They were given a Nobel Prize for medicine in 1962.
Thank you very much, Mr. Liu. What does your hair and every cell in your body contain? Mr. Gregory.
It contains DNA, which is information about you.
Yes, and it is unique to you. It's totally different from anybody else, yeah? So here we have this word, unique. So, Mr. Liu, what does unique mean?
It means that there's only one, or maybe there are just a very small number.
Okay. And what can DNA tell you about? What can your DNA, what can it tell you about, Mr. Gregory?
It can tell you about your family, who you are related to, your health, your personality.
Yes, that's right. Thank you for that. Mr. Liu, what does personality mean? Personality.
It's basically your reactions to things.
Your reactions to things. What about if you have a reaction to peanuts, for example? An allergic reaction. Is that the same thing?
No, I don't mean in terms of illness. I mean in terms of when someone asks you a question, your personality will dictate how you would respond to the question. When something difficult is happening in your life, your personality will dictate your reaction to that difficulty in your life. If you have a pleasant disposition, you'll have pleasant reactions to things. If you have an angry disposition. You may be a person that's angry, easily about things.
Thank you for that, yes. Okay, it's more to do with the character, the personality of who you actually are. So, I think that's what Mr. Liu was saying. And who discovered DNA? Who was it that actually discovered DNA? Mr. Liu.
Friedrich Miescher.
And who was he?
A German scientist.
A German scientist. What does scientist mean, Mr. Liu?
A scientist is anyone who uses the scientific method.
Thank you very much. Like we did discuss this before. Yeah, thank you, yeah. So as a scientist, he uses a particular method of making discoveries and usually works in a laboratory. When was DNA discovered? Mr. Gregory, could you tell me?
That was in 1953.
But here it says DNA was discovered by a German scientist, Friedrich Miescher, in 1869.
Oh.
But the thing was, then, nobody realised or understood the importance. It wasn't until later at Cambridge University that they solved the problem. But it was actually discovered by a German scientist. He made the initial discovery in 1869. What did the other scientists think about the DNA map at the time of Friedrich Miescher's time? What did other scientists, what did they think about this? When he said, look, I've got this structure.
They thought it was too simple to contain any useful information about ourselves.
Yeah, so they didn't pay any importance, didn't give it any importance at the time, yeah. So who finally discovered how DNA worked? Who actually found out how it worked? Mr. Liu. Wasn't it the...
at Cambridge University.
Yeah, the students at Cambridge University, well, they were scientists, young scientists at Cambridge University. And what did they receive in recognition of their discovery? What did they receive in recognition of their discovery? Mr. Liu.
The Nobel Prize for Medicine.
Yes, the Nobel Prize for Medicine in 1962. Let's move up here now. So, gradually, scientists learn to read more and more of the information in DNA. In 1986, for the first time, DNA testing was used by the police. Some DNA is usually left by a criminal at the place where the crime was committed. This can be matched with DNA from a suspect. The test shows if the suspect is guilty. Let's look at the vocabulary here. DNA testing was first used by the police. Criminal. What is a criminal, Mr. Liu?
A person who has broken the law.
Person who's broken the law. So what does it mean when it says left by a criminal? Left by a criminal. What does that phrase mean?
It would be maybe some hair or some blood or any kind of body part, even a very small body part, left at the scene of crime.
Yes, okay. So these would be used by the forensic scientist. Here's a forensic scientist here. He's looking at the clues. Maybe a piece of hair, that this would contain DNA, even my hair, if they were lucky enough to find some. And a suspect. A suspect. What's that? A suspect.
That's somebody that you think might have committed the crime.
Thank you for that, Mr. Gregory. Somebody you think might have committed the crime. The criminal, the suspect, the possible criminal. So we say suspect if it's not definite. We believe it to be true, but we're not sure. Let's move up here. Mr. Liu, could you now read this final paragraph for me, please?
Yes. In 1990, the Human Genome Project was begun. Scientists wanted to make a map of the 3 billion chemical letters in human DNA. Over 1,000 scientists all over the world worked on a project and it took 10 years. With this information, it is possible that a cure for many diseases will be found in the future, but it also brings with it many questions. Do we want to be able to choose what our babies will look like, or pick the best person for a job with DNA tests?
Thank you very much, Mr. Liu. And when the Human Genome Project was begun, what did scientists want to achieve? What did they want to get from this project? Mr. Gregory?
They wanted to make a map of the 3 billion chemical letters in human DNA.
Thank you very much for that. And how many scientists worked on the project? How many scientists worked on the project? Mr. Liu?
Over 1,000.
Yes, over 1,000 scientists. Okay. Is it possible, with this now newly found DNA, is it possible that in the future a cure may be found for many, many diseases? What do you think, Mr. Gregory?
Yes, I think so, because science is discovering new things all the time, and using DNA, I'm sure they'll find ways of manipulating the DNA to do away with various diseases.
Thank you for that. That's very interesting. And then it goes on to speculate. This is giving us different ideas, maybe this, maybe that. This is like speculation. And here are some things that they put in at the end. Do we really want to choose what our babies look like? And as Mr. Gregory said, to manipulate. This word manipulate means to be able to change the natural process of the human body makeup with DNA. Well, who knows? How many common English words were invented by Shakespeare? Well, who knows? I don't know. How long did it take people to find the answer to this question 15 years ago? Oh, they would never find this answer. And now, you can Google it and find the answer immediately. In 1 second, Google, boom, it will have the answer for you. Google, for me, is like one of the 7th wonders of the world, the entire internet for that matter. You can find information about anything. So, let's have a look. Google is the most popular internet search engine in the world. It was invented by 2 students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin. They met in 1995 when they were both studying computer science at Stanford University in the USA. They were also both fans of the science fiction TV program Star Trek, and they loved the spaceship computer. Anyway, back to Google. They dreamed of producing something that could also answer any question in seconds. In internet search engines at the time were slow and gave many websites that weren't useful. But now, of course, things have changed dramatically. Let's have a look at some of the vocabulary in this first paragraph. Internet search engine. What does that phrase mean to you? Internet search engine. Mr. Gregory?
It is effectively an application that you can use, and the application will search for the keywords that you have entered. It will search the entire internet and return the URLs of the sites that match what you're searching for.
Thank you for that. That's very interesting. And then computer science. Computer science, what does that mean to you, Mr. Liu?
The academic study of information technologies pertains to computers.
Okay, so you're talking about the studying of this science at university.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I think we understand most of that now. Let's go up to here. This actually begins in January 1996. So in January 1996, Page and Brin decided to make a better and faster search engine. They thought the results should be based on the popularity of each website. The most popular ones have the highest number of web links. These are links to other websites. What does it mean, popularity? What does that mean, popularity? Mr. Gregory?
Something is popular if many people like it.
Oh, I see. So it's like what many people like at the time, like nowadays, many people like football. So football is popular, and it is popular with a lot of people. I think that's what you're trying to say about popularity. Now, Mr. Liu, could you please read this paragraph here?
Nobody would give them money for their project, so they used their credit cards and bought as much computer memory as possible. They also borrowed money from family and friends. Then, in 1998, they were given a check for $100,000, and they started their own company. Their first office was in a friend's garage. The company name Google comes from mathematics. A goggle is a very high number, 1 followed by 100 zeros.
Thank you for that. That's quite interesting. I didn't know that. So, how did they get the money for their project? How did they get the money for their project, Mr. Gregory?
They used their credit cards and they used their credit cards.
Yes, they used their credit cards. And they also borrowed money from family and friends. What happened in 1998? What happened in 1998? Anybody?
They were given $100,000 and they began their own company.
Yes, that's right. Where was their first office? Where was their first office? Anybody?
Friend's garage.
In a friend's garage, yes, that's right. Also, I want to point out, in American English it's garage, and in Britain we tend to say garage, although sometimes we do say garage as well. But usually we'll be inclined to say garage in Britain. Now let's move over here. This is what I found to be quite interesting. A Google is a very high number. It's 1 followed by 100 zeros. So that is a Google, and that's where the name Google comes from. Okay, so the Google search engine was soon used by thousands of people worldwide because it was fast, easy, and accurate. Can anybody tell me, what does this word accurate mean, Mr. Gregory?
If you are accurate, you make very few mistakes.
And I notice you're doing a lot of work there today. Are your students accurate in their estimations?
Some of them are more accurate than others.
Thank you for that. And let me move on. By 2002, this is how we say it in British English, 2002. I think in America they say 2002. Would I be correct in saying that, Mr. Liu? Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. It was the biggest search engine on the internet. Now, more questions have been answered by Google than any other internet service, from sport to science and from travel to technology. Google hopes that in the future, all the world's information will be put on the internet so that everybody can find everything. Thank you very much for paying attention today to this video, and I know you're going to do really well in your English language studies, and I'd like to thank you on behalf of my colleagues here for listening and taking the time to watch the video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you, teacher.